what you want. Ha! 1600 block. I just wanna rock.
YouTube, what's going on? Back with another video. I know I ain't did a loadboard video in a while, so I forgot to knock one out now. House is quiet. I'm the only one in here. It doesn't happen too often. So we're gonna knock this out before the wife and kids get back. Alright. Got 752 loads on the board. Now this is for, I think the calendar is set for like the next 7 days. Now this number could go up, could go down, depending on how many people book loads, how many loads they add to the board. This, that, and the third. But as of right now, that's what's on here. So we're gonna go down state by state. See what they got on there. Let y'all guys get a feel for what the rates are right now, because they not that good. So, I mean, JB changed their rate policy as of late, and certain areas, the rates are just terrible. So, and they've been starting to get a lot of these. I don't know why, but that's been the average. They've been starting to get a lot of heavy loads lately, because we used to see a lot of this, you know, and this, and that. But now a lot of things are geared towards that. So, but all right, we're in Alabama. Rates don't look that bad. This doesn't have a line haul rate. Usually you gotta call and ask for that. That's why it's only at 59 cents. So, all right, what else we got? So I'm actually got my loads booked up for at least for right now for the next 2 weeks. So we're gonna make sure, as long as there are no loads cancel, we don't have to do no JB trailer hunts and everything. Hopefully everything work out, and we get these loads done. Because from today, I'll be going up to Wayfair in the Wayfair in Cranberry, New Jersey. I'll be taking that to Lancaster, Texas. From Lancaster, Texas, we'll be going to Wilmer, Texas for a pickup, and that's going down to San Antonio. And then from San Antonio, we're going to California. Yeah, I said it. Going to California. Doing something a little different shit. Even Texas. I ain't never been in Texas with JB Hunt either, so we're doing something a little different. We're getting out of our normal lanes. No more just running down to Georgia and back, you know, and stuff like that. So we're doing a little different this week and next week. So from San Antonio, we're going to California. It's a 3-stopper. You have the pickup and 2 drop-offs. So our first stop would be in El Cajun, California. And the last stop would be Vacaville, California. And then we have a load from California actually taking us all the way back to New Jersey. Right back to where we started. We're going to be picking up in Lathrop, California, going all the way to Cranberry. So, one of the reasons I took that load, going from California all the way to Jersey, is because it pays $9,000. So, yeah. So we're looking at probably be our best 2 weeks with JB Hunt since we've been here. At least money-wise anyway. So, because going down from Going down from Cranberry to Lancaster was like 33. I think it's 3,300. And then from Wilmer to San Antonio, it's like 200 and something miles. That's paying 800. And from San Antonio to California, that's paying us $4 grand. And then from California to Jersey, it's paying us $9 grand. So I didn't actually do all that math. I didn't add it up as I was going. Let's see, let's do that real fast. So you got 33 plus 8 plus 4. These are just rounded off numbers. These aren't the exact numbers. I didn't pull them up and stuff. So, and then 9. So yeah, that's 17. I'll be 17,000 gross for 2 weeks. Divide that by 2, making like 8,500 a week. So I'll do a more detailed breakdown, you know, on fuel and JB Hunt's percentage and stuff like that. And I'm probably not gonna do a weekly video for this because I'm gonna be on the road. So I'm not gonna have the processing power of my computer to process videos and upload them quickly. So I'm probably just do daily videos. So they'll upload, process faster and upload faster. So, see, here it is again. Look, almost everything coming out of Florida is 40,000 pounds. But are they all coming out of the same place? Are they all coming out of the same place? Oh no, this is coming out of Kissimmee. That's Haynes. But yeah, just about everything is heavy. I mean, coming out of Florida is not that bad because it's not hilly or anything, but still. But look what they're paying for that kind of weight. Florida was never a good paying state anyway. But if I was to come out of Florida and I was in this area, this is probably the only load I would take because it's putting you in a good area. So, because once you get to Georgia, you should be able to find something good from there. Because look at right now, Georgia got 74 loads right now. Georgia's a good area. JB on site moving slow today. Everybody on here looking for loads, I guess. Yeah, so once you get into Georgia, you know, Port Wentworth, you're going right back down to Florida. I don't know about that one. What's this one? That's going to Florida too. This is a nice little short one. That's not bad. Not too bad in weight. Yeah, like certain parts of the state, like JB Hunt has nice. The rates aren't bad. I think it's just the Northeast right now that's terrible. Cause it's like once I get out of the Northeast, rates really aren't that bad. I mean, they got a couple bad ones. Usually Kathleen pays pretty good because that's Frito-Lay. I don't know. That's usually higher than that. But it's like once you get in the Northeast, it's like that's when the rates just start to plummet. You coming out of Iowa. From what I understand right now, Iowa's supposed to be the new California. As for like rates and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is. Only time will tell. But it's not looking that bad except for this one. Other than that, these rates are nice. So, you know, the Midwest has always been one section of the U.S. that you could always get good paying freight. except for this one. I don't know what's going on with that one. But by all the other numbers, you can see this is averaging almost every $3 a mile, almost every load. Almost every load coming out of it is almost $3 a mile, which is great. Let's see what Indiana got. It's like the Midwest is always you down and you can't make no money. To get butt to the Midwest and just run short free. You just run back and forth from Indiana to Illinois over to Michigan, Ohio or something. Just run back and forth. Only problem with some of the loads are it'll be a short run like this one. It's only 266 miles. But I gotta hold on to it for a whole day. That's where the problem comes in at. Because it's not an 01. It has to be delivered by 11 o'clock the next day. I could pick it up anytime because it's an 01. And as long as it has to be picked up by midnight. But I have to hold on to it for a day. It's not going to take me a whole day to get there, which means I got to sit on this load. Because you could do 2 of these in a day, no problem. But I don't know who sets these appointments either. I don't know if that's JB Hunt doing it and they're trying to control how much money a driver makes and they don't want us running like crazy. Because there's no way you can't get this there the same day and just deliver it. Now, I've done it. I've taken loads where it has a next day appointment and delivered early and haven't had a problem. But that's going to destinations I've been to before and I know I could deliver early. Because sometimes that's just JB Hunt with their stuff. A lot of these places have open windows. So, you can, before you book this, like from our app, you can actually see the address. Like the internet board doesn't show it to you. But if you go through the 360 app and look at these loads, and it shows you the map, you can actually click on a number and it will show you the address of where it's going. And you can just call them and ask them if they have strict appointment times or are their appointment times open and stuff like that. And they'll tell you. And that way you'll know if you could drop it early or if you can't drop it early, if you have to drop it that day. But that runs with a risk also because you might do that. What's that address on Kansas? You might do that, and by the time you finish making them phone calls and stuff like that, somebody done took that load from under you. So, the more you run, the more you get familiar with stuff, and you realize what you can get away with and what you can't. Like, look, Kentucky, look at this. Everything's over $3 a mile. Even 254 is not bad. Yeah. So I'm gonna knock this. I'm gonna post this right after I'm done. And I gotta do some laundry and pack some bags. 'Cause, to tell you the truth, I've never, even when I used to hot shot before I started doing, I used to be a hot shot car hauler. I've never did a 34 on the road. I've always been home every weekend. So this would be a first. My girl didn't look too happy when I told her, but she understands. Because this week we didn't really run this week. We only did, I would say 2 loads was more like a load and a half. So, matter of fact, we didn't even do 2 loads. We did 1 load this week. Yeah, we did 1 load this week. That was the day load from to Burlington Coal Factory. That was the only load. That was $500. And when JB Hunt took their money out, we got $3 325. So yeah, that was the only load we did this week. So we're actually going to be in a negative come next week. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to take a lot of high paying loads, is because I have to make up for this week. So when next week's settlement comes around, where is it, Michigan? I'm gonna have to basically pay double. So, because I'm gonna have to pay basically the truck note for this week and next week, and JB Hunt's fees, and then whatever fuel and stuff that I use. So, but we're making enough where we should be able to cover everything and still bring home a little bit. Not a lot, but we'll still be able to bring home a little bit. Minnesota, I don't really want to consider Minnesota the Midwest. But as you can tell, Minnesota rates they're okay. They're not as good as Illinois, which is only a state over, but it's okay. Hope I zoomed this in enough so it's not too small when I upload it, so people y'all could still kind of see what's going on. What is this, Missouri? Look at this. 30, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. Look at this. Oh my God. See, I would have a problem in Missouri. I couldn't, this, oof. Depending on where it's going to. Let's see. And it like this one, it's not even any line haul on it. That's the only problem with it. When they don't have a line haul on it and you send a message in to your CC to get a line haul, depending on your CC, you might get an answer, or you might not. I've had times where I've asked for line haul rates. I'll send a message in for a line haul rate, and they'll say they'll get on it, and I'll never hear back, and I'll go on the board and the damn load will be gone. I'm like, well, what the heck happened? I know ain't nobody book it without a line haul. They had to, get a line haul first, which means I guess your CC just moves faster than mine, I guess. Not a lot coming out of Mississippi. It's not the best area to go in. North Carolina don't look bad, 35. North Carolina actually used to have nice paying freight. As you can tell now, not a good area. Going to North Carolina now is not it. I mean, this one's not bad, coming out of Charlotte. This one's coming to Jersey. If I needed a load coming back home, if I was down there, I'll probably take, what's this one, 264, 297. Now this is past my house, and this would be before my house. So it's like, which one? 30, what's this, 586 miles, 466. I'll probably take this one. I'd rather stop before and keep going than having to go past and double back. Even though it's a little heavier, I'll still take that one. What else we got? See? Now this is what the average rate is looking at. Like, if you're not in a hot area. And this is before JB Hunt's 35%. So you figure, what is this, 1693.72? Multiply that by 65%. That's what you're going to get out of it, basically $1,100. And then you add in a fuel surcharge of $536, and then you divide that by you getting $1.55 a mile. Cost me $1.39. I mean, I'll still make money off of it, but it ain't a lot. I'm making what, 16 cents a mile? So that'll basically be profit, because so you figure 16 cents a mile. I'll make $168. That's what will go in my pocket as a profit. After, you know, that's after all expenses and stuff. I mean, that's enough to I guess go out to dinner, I guess. You're not really doing much more with it. Put some gas in the car. The way gas prices are these days. My day in truck take just about that just to fill it the hell up. So yeah, but I think that's why, and JB Hunt does that on purpose, because they know they hired a guy that does the rates and stuff now, and he's an ex-broker. So it's like they kind of know if a driver has a truck note, because they know if you got a note or if your truck is paid off. So they kind of do the average, and they know what you can still make money off of, whether it's a little bit or damn near none. So they know. So they chipping away at it. They definitely chipping away. And we're gonna get up to the northeast. See what I mean? That actually went down. Actually got paid more than this for mines. They just cut the rate again. They cut the rate again. That's the same load I'm doing now. And I'm getting paid. Hold on. Let me go to my screenshot. I'm getting paid $2.37 a mile. So I'm getting paid 12 cents more. But yeah, that's kind of what the average is up there now. So, but sometimes sometimes you gotta take little small stuff like this to get to the big stuff. So, oh, this one actually leaves tomorrow. This is the one I thought I looked at that I booked. I could have sworn this one, because mine actually leaves today, but I could have sworn this is the one I booked, because this one leaves in the morning. Mine doesn't pick up to like this one, which is late at night. But I can't change. There's no sense in me changing it now, because that doesn't get there to the 3rd. Wait a minute. Can I finagle that? Let me see something. 1 second. Be right with y'all, because my next load in Wilmer picks up. That picks up on the 2nd, and it's an all-day pickup. If I didn't pick this up to the 31st, which is tomorrow at 9, I could actually potentially still get there on the 2nd. I'm leaving today. I'll actually probably get there on the 1st. Or maybe early on the 2nd. But no sense in running that tight. So I'll just leave it the way it is. But yeah, I could have sworn this is the one I booked originally. Yeah, because one of the guys that I talk to a lot, he booked one of these too. We actually wanted to go down together, but then I had to change all my pre-plans and stuff, and I might not find nothing else, so we're gonna have to save that for another time. All right, where we at now? No fuel surcharges. Because when you don't get a fuel surcharge, everything comes out of this. Your fuel, JB Hunt's 35%. Like, it may look good at 337, but being as though there's no fuel surcharge, you're actually losing. You're losing a lot more. I'd rather have a fuel surcharge. Alright. What was that? Where we at now? Alright. Yeah, I'm actually excited to take this little trip. I'm gonna see if I get a nice little, a lot of footage for y'all. You know, the nice landscape and stuff going through, you know, Arizona and California and stuff. I think we do some coastal driving too, going through California. So we can get a lot of pictures of that. So, because I've only been to California one other time, and I was working. I was basically in and out. So this time I'm actually gonna take my time and enjoy this a little bit more. Too bad I can't take anybody with me. Alright. That's what happens when you have a newborn at home. Can't take her in the truck, so she can't go. Because JB Hunt's policy is the person that's in your truck. They have a rider policy, but they have to be 12 years of age or older. And you have to fill out 4, because I just did it for my girl, 4 pages of insurance paperwork before they get in the truck, and it has to be approved. And they can't have a CDL. Your passenger, if you're riding with a passenger in a JB Hunt truck, they cannot possess a valid CDL. See, look, New York, another Northeast state. Look at these rates. Horrible. Yes, they cannot possess a valid CDL because I guess they don't want them hopping in the driver's seat, I guess. So yeah, you can't. If you're taking a passenger and they got a CDL, JB Hunt would not approve them as your passenger, unless you could show another ID, like an old ID or something, before they had their CDL that's not expired. But they won't take a. They can't be a passenger. They got CDL. Ohio isn't bad. Ohio got some nice rates. The weights aren't looking too good. Everything's heavy. Just going to California, $231 a mile. People take that too. I've seen this load. I've seen people take this load. I don't need to get to California that bad. I mean, what is that? 5,600? 2,400 miles. I think this is a Frito-Lay too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's Frito-Lay. There's another one. Yeah, that's Frito-Lay. See, stuff going into the Northeast pays good. Stuff coming out of the Northeast pays horrible. Because as they call it, where I'm at is a backhaul state. So that means loads pay good coming in, but they suck going out. Oklahoma. All right, almost there. Oregon. Another state you'll go into and you just be stuck. And look, it's only paying $1.47 a mile. Like, that's not even break even territory, because it cost me $1.39 to run my truck. So I know after JB Hunt take their cut, you're not even making, you losing money. I mean, it's a nice fuel surcharge, but that's crazy. The fuel surcharge almost matches the line haul, which should not be. Line haul should be way more than this. Right. else we got? Yeah, here's my state. So this is what I go through when I get ready to leave the house. So Erie, PA, from Philly is about 6 hours. York, PA, not that far, but it's only paying $1.59. This one's $3.42. Like this one I would take, but that'll leave to a 4.4. So that'd have been a next week load. Bregginsville, $1.74. New Holland, yeah. So this is what I go through when I'm looking for loads. Waterford's way too far. It's not like 5-6 hours. But these are the rates coming out of my state. This is what I go through. This is what I go through. Chester's not bad. It's not a bad load. And you also got to think, like, I'm coming. This is Kimberly Clark. So you figure 20,000 pounds is not that bad. But you figure coming out of PA and then you going into like Ohio, like you trying to get to the Midwest with weights like this. I mean, 28,000 pounds is not that bad, but it's bad enough when you got to go through all the hills of Pennsylvania. And we talking about some bad ones. Like Pennsylvania got some of the worst hills besides like West Virginia and Arkansas. Like it gets, you talking about burning up some fuel. Your truck doing like 30 miles an hour up this hill with your hazard lights on. You watching your temperature gauges and stuff shoot to the damn sky. Yeah. So, like this doesn't have a line haul, but it's going to Florida. It's weighing 41,000 pounds. Like, yeah, okay. But yeah, this is what I struggle with. So. So usually I try to find something coming out of like Maryland or something to try to, but you know, Frito-Lay out of Maryland is, everybody's looking for that. So it's like when it comes, it doesn't stay long. So like I'm fighting with everybody, trying to get a good paying load coming out the house. And some weeks I win, a lot of weeks I lose. All right, where we at? South Carolina. South Carolina used to be a hot state too for good paying freight. I mean, they got a couple on there, but when you average it out, you know, this is what you're looking at. It's maybe 1, 2, or 3 good ones in there, but they're gonna go. Cause I don't know how long. See, this won't pick up to the 3rd, so people not looking that far ahead yet. That's why it's still sitting there. Cause you're only allowed three pre-plans with JB Hunt. So you have your dispatch load that you're currently dispatched to, and you could book 3 more loads. You can't do anything past that. So like I am now, I have my dispatch load and I have 3 other loads. So if another load popped up that I wanted to take, I couldn't take it. So that's most likely why this is sitting here, because today is only the 30th. So a lot of people probably already got their loads booked for the rest of the week. So it's probably why it's still sitting there. Plus it weighs 44,000 pounds. That might be another reason it's sitting there. This one too. It pays good, but it's heavy as heck. But you're not going that far. So, what else we got? Tennessee. Not that bad. I noticed without fuel discount, fuel in Tennessee is very cheap. You paying almost just over $3 a gallon. So it kind of makes up for some of these crappy rates. Because it's like I live in the Northeast, so I'm in PA. So it's like you got crappy rates and high fuel prices. So it's like the double whammy. Like right now, I got a quarter tank in my truck, so that'll get me to Cranberry, and I'm hoping it gets me to at least oh no, I gotta see what route I gotta take. I'm going to Texas. I think I gotta take 81 the whole way. So I'm probably gonna have to stop at the JB Hunt terminal and probably put like 30, 40 gallons in there just to get me to Hagerstown. And I could fill up in Hagerstown. Or maybe somewhere in Virginia on 81. It's filling up in PA or Jersey, just ain't it. Only problem is you don't know what the terminal price is till after you pump. And you can't pump, then check the price and pump again, because once you swipe your card, you have to wait. I think it's an hour. I think it's an hour or 2 hours before you can use your card again. So I can't even test it to see what the rate is. But most likely it's going to be high. I mean, it's Jersey. You would think the terminal would be low, but it's not. Let's see what I just did. I'm tripping. I was just in Texas. Let me find something. Anything different? Pickup day. I'll be there on the 2nd. Anything else coming out? Where is that going now? Nope. Wisconsin. No, I think I'll stick with what I got. Where's that going? That is when you're in Texas, it's hard to get out of Texas. Because if you pay attention to a lot of this stuff, a lot of this is Texas to Texas. This is a ghost load. That's a ghost load. That's a ghost load. But yeah, most of these stay in Texas. And if you are coming out of Texas, as you can tell, they're not paying that great. That's why when I saw that logo in California paying what it was paying, I say, yeah, let me get that. Because that might not stay there long. Because at first they had a logo in Colorado paying nice. It was paying almost 5,500 for like half the miles it was going to take me to get to California. It was I actually had that book first, but there was nothing coming out of Colorado or within like 500 square miles. So I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Because I would have to, like, literally, if I went there, I would have to burn basically a whole day just to get to some freight. Which which wouldn't make much sense. Lynchburg, there's a Frito-Lay going to Indiana. This would be a great load because you're going into a great area. You're getting great rate, great weight. Surprised that's still sitting there. That's a nice load for next week because that's what, the 2nd? Yeah, that begins the pay period. That'd be a nice load to start the week. It'd be a nice load to start the week. What else you got? You wanna go down to Florida? Somebody want to go down and sit in the sun? A little heavy. Ooh, this one is heavy. Well, look, Virginia, 400 miles. This right here is never accurate. Always add on about 30, 40 miles. That shit ain't never right. Because they do zip code to zip code, I think it is, or something like that. So you always got to round up. No fuel surcharge, and you only paying $1.42 a mile. But somebody, if you, it's a good, if you, I mean, you find a good load, great load coming in, there's the only way you gonna get out. But not going that. I would, if there's something short coming out, yeah. But for this, what? How? They're going to have to get that to a company driver. There's just no way. What is this? 42. You're only getting 27.54 at the JB Takes Day cut. And at 29 miles, let's say 3,000 miles, you're going to have to fill up. You're going to have to stop filling at least 3 times. So you're talking about another $1,600 in fuel? Bruh, that's not even your truck note. And that's taking you, I mean, it's an old one. You could drop it at any time, but still, that's still going to take you at least 4 days. $1,100. Yeah, like I said, definitely. I don't know what they be. I don't know. Give me the line. Stay far away. What we got in Wisconsin? Not bad. All right, almost done, folks. I'm sure nobody wants to see these last 2 states. I doubt it's anybody coming out of the West Virginia or Wyoming, but we'll do them just for shits and giggles. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at these weights. And West Virginia, like I said, they got some of the worst mountains. And look at this. Look, yeah. Somebody gonna take it though. Going here. Going here, not so much, because you can find way better paying loads. I'm going to Texas. All right, last one. No price. Guess you got a call. So, all right. Thank everybody for watching, subscribing, supporting the channel. We're on the road to what? 2,500 subscribers. We're doing something right, I guess. So, like I said, I leave tonight, so next video will probably be uploaded tomorrow or something like that. I'll see. So I'm gonna edit this, put it up, and like I said, just want to say thanks to everybody for supporting the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video.